G'day guys, welcome back again. I'm going to do a pour in some shades of browns and greeny blues today. Similar to that diagonal pour that I did. Do you guys remember that one? I'll just grab it and show you. It was that really long skinny one that I did. That's it there. Hopefully that's all fitting in the frame. So I used black, brown, turquoise, red oxide, cream, white, and this aqua green. So today I'm going to take out the black and add extra white. One of the lovely ladies that came to a class last weekend, Nikki. Hi Nikki, I said I was going to do this one for you, so this is for Nikki. She did these colours, but she wanted a lot more white in it, and it turned out really, really pretty. So I'm going to show you. Hopefully I can do as well as what she did. Yeah, it turned out really pretty, so I'll use those same colours. She had an extra white. She had 3 whites. There's a story to that, but anyway, she had 3 whites, so I've only got 2 whites today. And my pouring medium is 70% Elmer's glue oil, 30% water. And I have got 800 grams of mixed paint. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cups. Each one started with 60 grams of pouring medium and 60 grams of paint. And then I had to either add a little bit of water or a little bit of paint to bring them to consistency. I'll show you the consistency. It's a nice creamy, thickish mix, mound on a mound. This is my 70-30 instead of my 60-40, so it's a little bit thicker. See how that's leaving a mound on a mound on a mound? So that's what I want it to be today, and hopefully it won't be too thick and split. For cells I'm going to use treadmill silicone, and I'm going to do 3 drops in each except the whites. So that will be 15 drops. I like to do 15 drops in this size canvas. It's a 30 by 60 centimetre or 12 by 24 inch. And I like to do 15 drops of oil for that size canvas. So if you're using less colours, if you only got 3 colours, then you'd put 5 drops in each to make 15. I've got 5 colours, so I've got 3 drops in each, which still makes 15. And I'm going to layer my paints twice in the cup. So let's get to layering, and then I'll tell you about my colours a little bit later. So keep half of your paint for your second layer. It's Labor Day today in Australia, well, it is in Queensland anyway. So I have the day off work. I had a bit of a frustrating morning. I was trying some pours that I hadn't done before and haven't really got anything to show for it. Scraped the lot. And I thought, right, that's it. I'm just going to sit down and watch TV for the rest of the day. I was angry with myself because I couldn't do it. So I did that for a little while, and then I thought, I'm going to get up and do this pour that I've been wanting to do for the last week in these colours. So I did. Picked myself up, try again. I was playing around with just Floetrol and paint, but I do prefer my glue. So yeah, nothing really to show you from those. And then I had to go to hairdryer. I just can't get hairdryers. It's just not my thing. I don't know, they just look too messy. I think maybe I'm adding too much paint. I don't know. Because with that hairdryer sort of technique, you only add a little bit of paint, and then you move it around with the white layering over the top with the hairdryer. And yeah, I haven't really been successful in that at all, just not my thing. But that's okay. I like my flip cups. I've been successful with my flip cups, so can't complain, hey? Can't be successful at everything. I will have another try at it though. I've had a couple of tries over the last couple of months. I just can't seem to get it right. Just not my thing, hey? Paint's too thick, paint's too thin. But I've been doing quite a lot of these flip cup pours, so I might go back to some swipes for a while. Oh, actually there's a really big canvas waiting in the back corner here of this studio of mine, and I want to do a big painting, and I'm going to show you an easy way to do a big canvas. So I'm going to do that just because I've got the canvases sitting there, and they're way too big to be doing flip cup pours on them, because flip cup pours, as you know, are really temperamental, really tricky. They're okay on a small surface, but if you start going huge, yeah, you have trouble with them. You know, overstretching your cells because everything has to stretch so far. But I do have an idea for a nice big canvas with some swipes, so I'll show you that soon. But in the meantime, if you want to have a little bit of a sneak peek, check out the videos that I've called Easy Peasy Cells. I think I did 2 of them last year involving swipes. So that'll give you a little bit of a hint on what I'm going to do. Sorry, this is taking a while with all this layering. Feel free to fast forward. Again, getting people, you know, that's saying, oh, you're 10 minutes in and you're only filling cups. Well, that's how long it takes to fill cups, guys. If you don't want to learn, don't want to watch, that's fine. Just fast forward. I'm here for those people that want to learn, you know, really learn, nitty-gritty of it, not just looking at the finished product. Because you don't learn by looking at a finished product. You learn by looking at the whole process, watching every step. That's how you learn. I think so anyway. And my little puppies are growing well, growing fast. Lexi's little teacup poodle puppies. I put up a video of them the other day at 4 weeks. They're doing really well. They're eating solids. Still feeding from mum, but they're eating solids. And I keep them for about 10 weeks. I don't go until they're 10 weeks. I'm keeping the little girl. And the 2 boys are flying interstate. I'm in Queensland, so one's flying down to New South Wales and the other one's flying to South Australia. So a bit of a trip for them, but I'll make sure that they're old enough and strong enough to handle a flight. I always make sure that I get a direct flight, none of this stopping somewhere to change flights. If people live in an area that we have to have 2 flights, then I just don't sell to them. I don't think it's fair on the puppy, and I don't think it's safe them, you know, leaving, or me dropping them off at 5 o'clock in the morning and then not getting to their destination until 5 o'clock in the evening. That's not fair on them at all. Some places, you know, you have to have a stopover, so I won't do that. So generally it's only a really quick flight, maybe 2 hours, depending on where they're going. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing with the puppies. Smooth those out. Now, while those paints are sitting there, I'll quickly tell you about the colours. So I have red oxide. They're all the globals today. Red oxide and Eggnog. This is a cream colour, beige. Aqua green is one of the ones I make myself. Coastal turquoise, a nice bluey turquoisey colour. Burnt umber, chocolate brown, and of course white. And I've got two lots of white. It's not so much a sandwich pour because it hasn't got that huge amount of white, a little bit of paint and a huge amount of white again. It's just got 2 layers of, or 2 cups of white. So yeah, hopefully that will be enough to get the results I'm looking for. I sprayed the cups as I always do with my silicone. So let's flip these babies and see what we've got. Trying to get all the paint out. Oh, that's worked pretty well. Pretty much all gone. Oh, there's a tiny bit in this one. Might just put this on the edges here. Let it run off first. And then let the first little bit of the cup run out onto your puppy piddle pad or whatever you've got. And then pop the rest up on your canvas. Just means that you get a prettier amount of paint there, that's all. Okay, those are empty. Pop those away. There we go. Righto, now I only really got this area here that's a problem area, so let me turn it. Oh, I better mark where I left it, shouldn't I? Otherwise I might turn it and you'll be out of frame. Try not to get paint on my marker. There we go. Okay. Turn it around. Look at those stripes. Yummo. Plenty of paint on the surface, 800 grams. So I'm going to tilt and cover this one side first because I need to get that. I don't have any extra paint. That's okay. I should be able to cover that. I'm going to get my corner catcher because as I stretch that down, I don't want to lose all of that. So I'll just get my corner catcher. And it's just a piece of cardboard that I've bent in half. It's always a good idea to use those if you're going to be tipping your paint over a long way. And then tip it back again before you take it away. Otherwise, if you take it away too quickly, the paint's just going to fall right over again. Okay, back the other way. Just trying to get this little edge there covered without losing too much paint. It's just gone over. I can touch up that side afterwards. It's not a problem. Okay, let's turn it around. Oh, look at those beautiful stripies. Very nice. In Australia, we have this natural formation. It's called the coloured sands. And this pour really reminds me of the coloured sands, the different layers in the rocks, like this, very similar. Okay, now I just want to tilt a tiny little bit more. See, I'll try and explain this to you. At the moment, the weight of my paint is all sitting about here. So if I had to torch now, the cells that are here, by the time they get all the way down to there, they're going to stretch quite big. So I'm going to get the weight of the paint down a little bit more. If I can, get the weight of the paint down there a little bit more. And then I'm going to torch. That way my cells aren't going to overstretch. So now the weight of the paint is just sitting there. It's about to go over. And now I'm going to torch. I haven't done this before. Normally I tilt it, turn it, and then torch straight away. I don't want many cells, so I'm going to come up nice and high. I'm going to take my time with this. Hopefully I won't over torch. I have a tendency to over torch sometimes, so I'm going to be really, really careful this time. I know I said it before, but try it again. Play it again, Sam. Try not to over torch. If you see little air bubbles, that's okay. If you're getting close enough that you can pop air bubbles, you're probably too close. Alright, go again. Nothing much is happening yet, so go again. Nice and slow with the torch. Round and round in circles. And again. See, I'm really going slowly, taking my time. That's okay. You can go over it a few times. Rather do that than get too close. You can't take those cells back once they've popped up. But you can slowly get closer and closer to the surface. Depending on how thick your mix is will determine how close you can get without too many cells popping up. I'm going to turn it off for a minute and just wait. You can sort of see where I've got a bit too close. I might have been doing a circle and sort of gone down a bit on an angle. So there. But it's not too bad. I would like a few more on this panel here and a little bit more there. So I'll just go there. Wait. Oh, look, I've gotten too close there. See, just a tiny little, split second too close, and you get that colony. So I'm going to have to try and tip that off because I don't want that. Struggling with this section here. Don't know why. It must have a lot of opaques in it. You really need your semi-opaques to pop up through your opaques. And if you've got too many opaques, it's difficult for the to create cells. Because it's the semi-opaques or your transparents that are going to pop up through your opaque. So now I've gone too close. Okay, put a few more up. As I said, this is my 70-30 mix, so it's a little bit thicker than the other one I've been using recently. I started with this thick mix and then I changed to 60-40. I wanted it a little bit thinner, but I'm just going to try it a little bit thicker now. Oh, there's a fly in here. I'll get you later. Actually, gotcha. I've got a huge canvas just over there behind me that I've put a gloss varnish on. So if I see a fly, I have to definitely splat it so it doesn't get on that. So the first thing I'm doing, as you know, my weight of my paint's here. So I'm going to take some of that cluster off really, really slowly. Don't over tilt. Just go slow, there's no rush. That little blobby one can go too. Okay, that's just gone over. And then while I was watching that corner, this has all gone over. So now all I need to do is this little bit here. So bring the weight of the paint back this way. I don't want it falling over there just yet. I'll get rid of those later, but at the moment I want it to come down here. So really, really slowly, as you're watching everything, bring the weight of the paint down there. So I want to get rid of this stripe and fill in that corner. So again, really slowly, take your time. Now it's gone over here. Bring the weight of the paint back a little bit because I want it to go here. You've got to watch everything else because it's starting to bend. Just let it go over. Don't mind a few little wavy lines. With this multi-flip cut paw, you can, it's quite forgiving, you know, you can, because you've got the stripies happening, it's quite forgiving. Now, oh my goodness, last little tiny bit. I need to get that brown off, but I don't think it's going to, I would have to tip a lot of paint, move a lot of paint and overstretch a lot of cells to get there. I'm going to see if I've got some matching green. Oh, that's too brown. Might not have any. It's blue. That's okay. Let's grab a bit more. So we'll just do that little corner while I'm here. It needs a little touch of blue on it, so that can go there. It's not too bad. What's that? There's something in there. It's crawling around. Oi, what do you think you're doing? Baby fly. Righto. Let's just see, because I've put that extra big blob of paint on. Let's see if the weight of that paint may go off. I wouldn't mind getting that blob off there, but we'll see what happens. And I don't mind, you know, stretching my cells a little bit more because they're a little on the small side. They can probably go a little bit bigger. So there's that little blobby bit going on the corner. Really, really gently, really, really gently. Now, if you don't get the tiniest little corner off, don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. Just leave it. It's much better than what it was. Love it, you guys, love it. Now, what else? So the white of the paint is still at the top there, and I need to move it down a little bit. I wonder if I can just get a little bit more paint off. Let's see if I can stretch some of these cells just a touch. Just trying to get that little bit off. See, once your cells go over the edge, that's when they start getting stretched, hey? Just going to turn it around. It's so pretty. Wow, love, love, love it. Gorgeous, gorgeous cells. Now these cells up here, they're quite small, so let's see if we can stretch some of those out a touch. And I had a lot of these cells down here that were quite overstretched. So just take that back just a touch, just a touch. Not too much, otherwise they're going to get really elongated. I think that's about it, you guys. I think that's pretty good. Yep. Okay. I'm not going to do anything else to it. I'm not going to torch. I'm not going to tilt anymore. I'm just going to run my little tool underneath. I could have probably got away with having it a little bit thicker. I was a little bit nervous because I haven't done the thicker mix for quite a while. I did pop a little bit of extra water in my whites, as I always do. But in hindsight, looking at this now, I probably could have added a little bit less water. The cells have kept their shape really nicely. And I think that's to do with the fact that I waited that little bit of extra time before I torched. I got the weight of the paint back down the other end before I started torching. I think that's made a big difference in not overstretching the cells. So if you've forgotten what I was talking about, just rewind, watch that again, and you'll see what I mean. I think it's really helped because my cells are all pretty much the same size and shape. If you go overstretching, over tilting, then half of your cells, maybe the top half's always a bit more overstretched than the bottom half. But what I did was I tilted it all back, the weight of the paint back, then I torched, and then the weight of the paint was already there and I just had to tilt that over. So I think that worked really well. So hopefully you guys have learnt something. Let me take my grubby gloves off and I'll take you in for a close-up. Love that. I wonder if I can show you Nikki's. It's just down here. If she did a bigger one, I'll just take the net off it. It's got this huge food net over it. I know you can only see a little part of it, but there's a big food net over it because I didn't want any flies getting on it. So that's it there. It's a bit bigger, see? Very similar colours. Yeah, very similar. They could be a matching pair. Hey, Nikki, what do you reckon? Twins. Lovely. Love yours. All right, let it get back. Put the net over it. It's still wet. They take about 5 days to dry, but then I like to wait at least a week before they're transported, before the ladies come back and pick them up. I did an intermediate class last weekend where everyone, there was only 2 ladies, they had to be experienced in multi-flip cut pours. I think a lot of people got scared away actually because I only had 2 ladies instead of 6 when it's the beginner class. Everyone wants to come and they get 6, but I think, yeah, they got scared away with the fact that it's a bigger canvas. Everyone did both ladies did a 40 centimetre by 80 centimetre canvas, which is 16 by 32 inches. So yeah, it was a great day, just the 3 of us. We had fun, and they did amazing pours. So there you go, look at those cells. Really happy with the cells. Beautiful shapes, multicoloured rings, not too much in the way of caterpillars. Couple maybe where I torched too close, but I was really trying to be minimalistic with my torching and not over torching. Aren't they pretty colours, hey? Got blocks of that aqua green, and then we've got some turquoise, and we've got the browns and the reds and the creams. The white, you can't see a lot of the white considering there was 2 cups of white, but they have surrounded those cells nicely. So that's pretty much where you can see the white. The rest of the white's just really diluted the other colours and made them a little paler. So you know that dark chocolate brown is paler. So there you go. How pretty is it? I love it. Love, love, love it. Have a go. Have a go at these colours. They're so pretty. Let me move that away a little bit. People get upset when I show a dirty workspace. Hey, oh, painting's just messy. All right, thanks for watching. Oh, 30 minutes. It's a bit of a long one, isn't it? But I think I did give you guys some good tips there on how to keep your cell shape. So hopefully it's worth the long video. Okay, I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now.